How dangerous are the main six? Ah, My Little Ponies. So long ago. I believe again it was my auntie who first showed me about My Little Ponies. I don't know. I just remembered watching all of it. Normally, I'm the type of person who watches a show once and never rewatches it again. I don't know why. I mean, I think Arcane is fabulous, but I have never rewatched it again. Even before the second season came out, I did not go back to rewatch the first season. I just can't for some reason. But My Little Pony is one that I have rewatched like twice. And the third time I rewatched it was because I was watching it with my little brother. But yeah, needless to say, I love My Little Ponies. It's an amazing show. Ever since I was a kid, I loved it.
You know, for a show all about friendship and
Let's see how
peaceful
dangerous
resolution to
they are.
problems, these ponies have some surprisingly lethal capabilities. We're
Jesus!
talking about levels of strength to, say, casually toss a
Bro,
boulder
you
over a
snapped
mountain,
that bear's
control
neck,
the weather, break through
Fluttershy.
trees, shoot lasers, and the ability to summon armies of forest animals to your side. So I, of course, did what
I
any
knew
sane
it.
person would do and spent
I
hours
knew
looking
it.
over their abilities to
Fluttershy
figure
was
out all the
always
ways
the
that we
most
can take their
dangerous.
medicine powers that they use to make the world a better place and weaponize them to the absolute highest degree. And their abilities range anywhere between, oh my gosh, please stay away from me, I don't want to die, to literally the annihilation of the entire planet.
That's Pinkie Pie
Dun, dun,
right there.
dun. However, none of
That's
the
Pinkie Pie,
characters
Rainbow
with force
Dash,
have the
and Twilight.
desire to turn
Those
evil
three
and
can
destroy the
destroy
world.
it.
So, for the sake of this video, we are assuming that all of the characters have been hit with some sort of turn everything evil-inator and are now determined to kill everyone they
Alright.
see. Fluttershy is no longer kind, Rainbow Dash is no longer loyal to anyone, etc. You get the picture. Starting off at the bottom of the deadliness tier list, we have Applejack. No, it's not Fluttershy. Let me explain. Applejack is an interesting
Yeah.
case because unlike other
Oh,
characters,
Rarity
she
can
has
do
no
some
flight
OP
or magic.
stuff.
Oh, but that does not stop her from being a formidable foe. She is known to be so strong that she can kick a boulder over a hill with ease. Now, that's of course very impressive, but I want to know
Very.
just how impressive is it exactly? Exactly how much weight is she throwing over the hill? If we measure the height of the boulder as well as Applejack, the boulder comes out to approximately 500 pixels tall and 445 pixels wide, whereas Applejack is 70 pixels tall. Assuming Applejack is 3 feet tall, which is a measurement made by many people in this fandom, primarily using this 8-foot tall
3
candy cane,
feet
as well as
tall.
us having a size comparison between human Rainbow Dash and pony Rainbow Dash from the blooper reel of Rainbow Rocks. We can then take Applejack, who is 70 pixels tall, and use her as a ruler to measure the size of the boulder. If we
So
assume
the
that this
boulder
rock is
would
as
have
thick
to
as it is
be
wide, the measurements come out to
like
500 pixels tall,
520.
445 pixels wide, and 445 pixels deep. Or in feet, the measurements come out to 21.43 feet.
Okay,
by
now there's something I
19.07
understand.
by
I did not
19.07
understand
feet.
any of
Using
those.
this formula to calculate the volume of an ellipsoid, yes, I know we're not working with a perfect ellipsoid here, but we're working with
I
a 2D image,
mean,
and this is going to give us a better result than if we were to calculate it as if it were a cube.
I
Then
would
plug in this
I
formula
would
to
have
get a
calculated
volume
as a
of
cube.
about 4,080.58 cubic feet. Now, to calculate the weight, we need to first figure out what kind of rock she kicked over the hill. The type of rock we see on screen forms in large boulders and has
And
a
it has
reddish tint to it.
moss.
Given that it is located in a volcanic area,
Ooh.
our most likely candidate is basalt. While it's often associated with being
Basalt.
black, basalt can in fact have a
Ooh,
bluish
basalt is a
to it,
pretty
as we
rock.
see
I
here.
like it.
Basalt has a weight of about 181 pounds per cubic foot. That puts the weight of the boulder at about
3,000 feet.
767,213
Okay, a little bit more than I predicted.
Now, I don't know how many newtons of force it would take to throw something of that kind of weight as high
Little,
or as
little.
far as she did, but I
Wow,
think you get the picture.
just a slight
That
bit
is
more than I
enough force
predicted.
to cause your head to file a divorce with your neck. She has to be one of the strongest ponies to ever live. Well, except for that one time where she was stopped by a tiny pebble. We don't talk about that. But not only does she
Yeah.
have brute strength on her side, but she has been shown to have the tactical skills to battle a chimera on its home turf, the Fire Swamp. But how could we possibly get more deadly than this? Well,
How?
you see, Applejack, you could theoretically avoid. Applejack, you could hide from. Applejack, if you had a weapon, you might be able to take her down. That is, unless her muscles are so
bullet?
dense that she's literally bulletproof.
Never
Sure,
mind.
a weapon won't stop, or perhaps hiding won't save you from? Well, how about a never-ending army of animals that can rip you
Yeah.
to shreds? Yep, Fluttershy's deadliness is higher than Applejack's.
She twisted a
Fluttershy
bear's
herself
neck.
is certainly not the
Yeah.
strongest in a fight, and anyone could take her down with a single punch. She has something
No,
that no other
not
pony
anyone
has.
can.
The ability to talk to animals. But not only can she talk
Basically
to animals,
control
but
them.
she can befriend nearly any animal in an
That's a
instant
demon
and bring them
wasp.
to her side to do her bidding.
Look, she looks evil in that scene.
Situations where an animal, for whatever reason, does not obey her command, she can use her
The
secret
stare.
weapon.
I can't believe I remember that.
To get any and all animals to do exactly what she wants. It has only ever failed one time, and that was against Discord.
Exactly.
The Lord of Chaos,
Literal chaos
literally
god.
anything he wants. He is not just some random animal. Hey, I just realized right before this video is supposed to go out, there was actually one other time that the stare failed, and
It was against
the flash bees.
Oh,
I realized this while watching
I thought it was against her rabbit because that thing is a devil. I promise you. I don't know why, but that thing's evil has been ingrained in my mind with how messed up that rabbit was. I think she manipulated Fluttershy.
Twilight that the stare doesn't always work, and Twilight responded with, "To be fair, you were really sick that day." Okay, so the stare does not work against Discord, and the stare does not work against really aggressive bees while Fluttershy is sick. But other than that, it seems to work, even against very disobedient creatures like vampire fruit bats. Okay, that's it. Back to the video. And you might think, oh,
So again, she just controls. No.
It's called a shotgun.
No. A shotgun is great against one animal, maybe two. Hey, if you're me, you can go straight, man, you got enough barrels, you can take down around 20 animals, okay? If you can reload as fast as me. But again, I'm built different. So, like, yeah, I can just shotgun, bam, 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 20 dead. Like, these are thousands. And also, you're not as good of a shot as me, so you won't be able to catch the little bees that are flying everywhere either.
Animals she controls would not only overwhelm anyone in numbers, but she would also overwhelm anyone with the fact that these animals
That's Cerberus. That's fucking Cerberus.
From a flock of birds to a stampede of elephants. And you just might be sitting there thinking, well, I might not be able to take on an army of animals, but if we were to say up the firepower and send Fluttershy up against like a military or something, then surely Fluttershy could be defeated. Okay, my guy. Let us not forget that Australia's military,
they lost to the emu.
Lost a war to emus.
The emu war. Oh yeah.
Numbers and size on her side, but the fact that
if every animal in the world tries to kill humanity, we would die.
Is so powerful.
We would.
She managed to stare down a cockatrice, a creature
that turns you to stone.
Will turn you to stone. And she managed to shame this thing into obeying her.
Jesus.
It's an army of these things.
We dead.
Now, here's a question.
We dead. I mean, I'm stone proof. I'm already built. I'm carved from marble, okay? So I can't be turned to stone.
Have absolutely no idea. We don't know.
What?
It could work. It might not. There's no telling. It's never been tried before. And don't even think about trying to hide, because many of the animals that she has at her disposal have tracking capabilities.
Yeah.
Furthermore, if we went beyond just like a 1v1 scenario and she was instead placed into a militaristic setting, she would have the ability.
We're losing to monkeys. A phoenix.
In the forms of birds.
A phoenix.
Unlike the pigeons that our actual military have used, these birds can deliver words to Fluttershy. Highly specific information, not just pictures from a tiny camera strapped to a pigeon. And you would never know which animals are spies and which ones are not. You would have to waste so many resources just killing every single animal that happens to be nearby. If Fluttershy were to ditch her kind and gentle nature, her ability to communicate with animals,
y'all are cooked. I'll just be chilling with Luna on the moon.
And she can fly. I mean, she's not very good
True.
at it and can barely move through the air, but it is just still another little thing that makes her just a tiny bit harder to stop. But you know who can fly, ladies and gentlemen? Rainbow Dash. Unlike Fluttershy, this Pegasus...
Why is Rainbow Dash... What has Rarely done that makes her above Rainbow Dash? She literally breaks the sound barrier casually. I might believe she might even be able to fly at light speed.
dangerous in the sky and could genuinely take on Fluttershy's entire army by herself. I am not exaggerating, this horse is freaking terrifying. While all Pegasus ponies have some level of control over the weather with the ability to move clouds, start rain, etc., Rainbow Dash takes it to
basically
a
has
whole
no
new
filter.
extreme, which I suppose makes
He can
sense when her
basically
job
do
is to
everything.
manage the weather for Ponyville. But she can create tornadoes, and she can create rather big ones. But how does she create a tornado, you wonder? Well, it's
Flying really,
flying
really
around in a bunch of
fast.
circles. But that, of course, begs the question. How fast can she fly? Well, this pony is able to fly faster than the speed of sound, creating what is known as
a
sonic
sonic rainbow.
Now, here's the thing. If a tornado gets too large, Rainbow Dash loses control over the tornado. But guess what? That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We're
it
assuming
doesn't.
pure evil mode for these
Yeah,
meaning Rainbow
it doesn't
Dash
matter if she
does
can
not
control it. She
care
doesn't need
if she
to.
loses control over the tornado. She will create dozens of tornadoes and lose control over them, just so long as they destroy everything in her vicinity. On top of the insane speeds and tornadoes, this Skittle Horse can also control the weather in other ways, such as summoning lightning from the clouds, hailstorms, flooding, and snowstorms. But the thing is, while lightning is always known to strike the highest point in an area, Rainbow Dash straight up bypasses this rule by having full control over where lightning strikes. But you think that's all she can do? Absolutely not. So far, we have only covered her magical abilities. Other than her speed, we've not even touched on her physical feats. On top of
she is a kung fu
her kick
master.
is so strong, it is comparable to Applejack's. In the episode Sleepless in Ponyville, Rainbow Dash, in a single kick, knocks out several logs from tree trunks to make seating arrangements for a campfire. She had Spike build her a giant rock tower and then proceeded to fly and punch through it as a demonstration of her power, and then gets right back up. In another episode, Applejack requested Rainbow Dash's help in tearing down an old barn so that she could put up a new one. And Rainbow Dash is just blasting through this thing like it's nothing. And for
She bit that.
touch, she dives towards the building head first, breaking the sound barrier, and essentially turns herself into a rainbow nuclear
missile.
bomb.
Okay.
And for her most impressive feat of strength, the fact that she beat Applejack in an arm wrestle. That's terrifying. But you know what's stronger?
It's just an Applejack with super speed and widow control. Okay, never mind. She wins.
Rarity. Now,
okay, what has Rarity done? I don't remember Rarity doing anything that crazy though.
Rarity is not some pony who likes to get her hooves dirty.
Exactly.
She is more than willing to get into a fight when necessary and is very capable in combat. In terms of her abilities,
kicked the
she
manticore.
doesn't seem all that threatening. She is armed with two main powers. One is telekinesis, which is incredibly handy in a fight, allowing for an object to hit opponents in the blind spot or strike them while she is at a safe distance. And the other power is to teleport dresses onto ponies, which isn't all that helpful in a fight. Then again,
I mean,
suppose
fashion.
it's not exactly easy to fight in a ball gown, so maybe this would be a useful nerf to inflict on her enemies. Her telekinesis, though, isn't really all that strong. She primarily only lifts small, lightweight objects. While she can do heavier objects, it is very uncommon as she struggles with it, as seen in the ending of the end. So you're going star, then what the heck is it?
But isn't her magic like drained during that scene?
Well, the deadliness factor neither comes from her physical capabilities
or her magical
capabilities. Her level of power comes from the fact that she is absolutely loaded.
Okay, what's your superpower? Money. Really? She's evil. Why would her money help her in this situation? I was gonna say, if everybody knows she's clearly trying to take over the world and she's evil, what would her money do for her? Lo and behold, real life. Evil, rich people are already taking over the world and people aren't doing anything. Never mind. You're right. You're right.
Due to 1, her fashion empire, and 2, her ability to find gems that are just scattered about Equestria hiding in the ground. And she will not need to worry about fighting off ponies like Rainbow Dash because she will have the money to buy Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash will be working for her, as will
Mm.
Applejack and Fluttershy. And you might
She
think,
does.
oh, well, not
Mm-hmm.
every pony can be paid off. Not every pony can be bought. Yeah, she
No,
has a
a
second
lot
ability
of
that will
them
get you working
can.
for her. Rarity has the great power
Charm,
of
right?
seduction, which
Yep.
she uses multiple times in the series to
Yep.
get ponies to do what she wants. Oh yeah, and Spike.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly Spike. She is an excellent negotiator with extremely high status and networking skills. If she wanted to, this pony could
Oh my
absolutely
god.
run a
Yeah.
mafia empire. In order
I
to
promise you, you bring Rarity into the world, you take away all her morals, and you make her evil, she's taking over the world. And she's doing it methodically, too. She isn't brooding everything brute force like, oh, Sukuna wipes out a half of Shibuya and then we throw some nukes on him. No, she's gonna stay in the underbelly, be this old fashionista, and beneath all of that, she's the mafia boss, she's the Don running all of Chicago, running New York, running Beijing, running every single criminal empire in the world.
something like
Mm,
that, you would need something like, say, extreme levels of magical capability, enough to wipe out
yep.
entire armies in an instant. And there are very few more powerful in magic than
Then
Twilight
Twilight.
Sparkle.
I told you Pinkie Pie was the most dangerous, bro. I have a theory. It's not exactly my theory, right? But it's a popular theory that when Pinkie Pie got Discord's chaos magic in that one scene in the final season, because of that, it spread throughout all of her timeline, giving her a bit of chaos magic ever since the moment she was born. And that's how she has all these pinky senses and can do all of these stuff. And I'm telling you, that has to be the truth. Pinkie Pie is the most dangerous out of everybody here.
The spirit of the element of magic herself. Now, Twilight's power level changes dramatically throughout the series. It
Oh
starts
yeah.
off being very strong as far as unicorns go, with abilities such as teleportation,
Mm-hmm.
transfiguration, and of course, the unicorn staple, telekinesis. But unlike Rarity, her telekinetic abilities and magical abilities
Oh,
in
they're
general
way,
are
way
far
better.
superior to nearly every other unicorn. While Rarity struggles to lift heavy
Yep.
objects with her magic, Twilight, back in season 1, which is the point in time where she is at her weakest state we ever see her, barring
Definitely.
Babyhood or whenever her magic is drained, was able to cast several spells at
At the
once in
same
order to
time
lift
with
a
the
giant
Ursa
Ursa
Major.
Minor into the air,
Minor.
carry and empty
Yep.
a water tower, milk a dozen cows to fill the tower with milk, and give it to the Ursa Minor while playing music to help it fall asleep, then carry it all the way to and
Mm-hmm.
through the Everfree Forest and
Back
deliver it
to
back
its
to
mom.
its cave. And again,
And you gotta be precise. She had to be precise with that to make sure that the bear did not get hurt while traveling with her telekinesis. And she didn't even see where everything was. So I'm
that was
saying
all in her weakest state as a unicorn. As the series goes on,
she's
we
an
watch as she
alicorn
becomes
now. She's
stronger and
also
stronger in her
immortal.
magic before eventually getting transformed into an alicorn, which, in her own words, gave her so much extra magic that she could barely control it. How much extra magic did she gain? Well, for a visual representation, meet Tirek. This is
Alright.
the villain of Season 4. He has the power to drain magic from ponies, including
Yep.
Pegasi Flight and Earth Pony Strength. After he drained the magic of every citizen in Equestria, he wanted to get alicorn magic.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him, the 4 alicorns had hidden their magic within Twilight, which she used to fight him with, putting them on equal footing, meaning
So you're telling me 4 alicorns. Did he take Discord's magic during this point? I can't remember. But if he did, that is a huge upskill. If he didn't, that is still incredible. 4 alicorns magic is able to, bruh, all of Equestria, all the ponies in Equestria, their magic can be matched by just 4
that the
alicorns.
power of 1 alicorn is approximately that of 1/4 of the entire country.
No.
However,
And you gotta put this into consideration. That's raw magical power. I'm not talking about the amount of magic one individual can use themselves. No, that's just the raw magical powers in their body. No wonder nobody. Of course, there was never a rebellion against the Alicorns. Nobody could do anything.
it's arguably more than that. Here's the thing about T-Rex powers. Every time he steals magic from some pony, his body grows to accommodate it. So the more magic he consumes, the larger he becomes. Now, for reference, here's what T-Rex looked like before he stole the alicorn's magic. Alright, you see that? You see that?
Yep.
You got that knowledge, you got that image in your noggin. Now, by only adding the magic of 4 alicorns, how much larger do you suppose he will grow to be? Oh!
10 times.
Gosh, and gravy boats! That's
Oh my god, she's bigger than mountains.
While alicorn magic is stupidly powerful, Twilight as an alicorn, even without the princess's magic, can pretty much one-shot a small army if she wanted to. She can create force fields, toss around 20 of those boulders that Applejack threw over hill, level countless old barns, control the weather, shoot lasers, transform anything or anyone into anything she wants, teleport, and of course, fly. If she were facing down an entire army, she could turn
just rain
if she wanted. But somehow, her
she also has dark magic too.
Because by the end of the series, she is granted the power of Princess Celestia and Princess Luna permanently. What are these powers?
Wow.
No, nothing major, just the ability to move the sun and moon
there you go.
With practically no effort, mind you. And here's the thing, I'm at a point now where I cannot quantify just how powerful Twilight is. By the end of the series,
we can't.
there is next to nothing that she can't do. So what exactly is an example of a limitation of her powers? What can she not do?
Let's see.
Well, she can't
bend reality.
Apparently.
What?
Unless it's in the form of a mustache. We don't talk about that.
What?
But guys, somehow,
that's arbitrary and benign.
Twilight literally has the ability to crash the sun into the earth. That does not compare to the most powerful pony of them all.
Pinkamena Diane Pie.
One whose abilities are so strong that they not only surpass Twilight's, but they surpass Twilight's understandings of how they even work. And that pony is Pinkie Pie.
Pinkamena Diane Pie
has a major advantage that none of the other ponies have.
I told you, she has chaos magic.
Powerful, she is bound by the laws of physics as well as the laws of magic.
Exactly. And Pinkie Pie isn't bound by any laws.
And pretty much do whatever the plot demands. But we do know that they exist. For example, magic cannot make a cutie mark appear before it is time, create something out of nothing, or grow hair. Apparently.
Nah, that's benign. No, magic can grow hair. They just didn't have the right spell. That's my personal, not headcanon. That's just my personal what happened that episode.
The rules are a little arbitrary. But what makes Pinkie Pie so special is that despite having no wings or horn, she does indeed have magic.
Yep, she can fly.
The episode School Race Part 2, after all of the magic in Equestria has been drained, we see it flying back to its original owners. And a small bit of that magic goes
back to
Pinkie, indicating that she
it doesn't go to any other Earth pony but Pinkie.
Exactly what her magic is, but it does seem to share an awful lot of resemblance with chaos magic.
Exactly.
The ability to warp space and time around her and bend reality to her will.
Again.
She is not bound by the laws of physics and magic. There are times
Pinkie's just built different.
Walk on air. Her mane often acts as a tool for her, being a storage
it's
area,
hammer space.
Acting as a hand to stir batter, and even turns into a drill. But how does she compare in terms of her physical feats? In the episode Party of One,
she basically outclasses everyone else.
Rainbow Dash, you know, the pony that can break the sound barrier. But she even managed to outpace her, reaching destinations before she did and waiting for her. She is quick. But not just quick. She has an extra ability known as Pinkie Sense, which is when she can sense when specific things are about to happen, such as doors opening and things falling from the sky. If you try to jump her, there is a good chance her Pinkie Sense will let her know before you even get a chance to strike her by surprise. It's so precise, it allowed her to navigate through a collapsing build, saving multiple ponies. But even if you did somehow manage to land a hit, it doesn't matter because Pinkie Pie is indestructible.
There was literally an entire death battle about this. Pinkie Pie versus Deadpool. And the lady splits into pieces and just puts herself back together. You cannot beat Pinkie.
We've seen her her get crushed by a giant boulder and walk it off like it's nothing. She has been crushed, stretched, and even broken into a dozen pieces, and then just
rebuilt
herself
herself.
like she's made of magnets. Except, there was that one episode where she was nearly crushed by a boulder, and everyone, including herself, was extremely terrified that she would get hurt.
Again, that's
Yeah, we don't talk about
arbitrary.
that. Why are the strength levels of ponies so inconsistent against rocks of all things? Anyway,
I
to
mean,
make things even scarier, her powers go beyond the
rocks
show
were the first
itself,
tools.
because she even has power over the fourth
Fourth
wall. At the end of
wall.
the episode Magic Duel, she managed to step outside the screen as it was turning to black, completely leaving their world. If we had a situation where it was Twilight versus Pinkie Pie, and Twilight decided to go absolutely nuclear and bring the sun crashing to the earth, Pinkie Pie's ability to step outside of reality would ensure
There she goes.
The laws of the universe bend to her will, not the other way around. Time and space are nothing. For her, a cause comes after effect. She laughs and reality rearranges itself to match the punchline. She is the master of chaos, second only to
There we go.
She can see across dimensions. Space and time are like toys in her hooves.
I mean, her other dimensional selves even know about her.
Always somehow forgetting that she is the one watching us. That's why her fourth wall breaks are always catching us by surprise. She is a master of redirection and distraction. There is nowhere you can hide, no speed at which you can run, no armor.
Alright, quit the glazing. Jesus.
Not even hopping across dimensions can save you, because she is the dimensions. She is the universe, and she is reality itself. Except Twilight did manage to step outside reality with her in that one episode. We don't talk about it! Or it could be that I'm just way too deep into this and she's just a goofball in a silly kids cartoon. It could be that. Anyway,
maybe.
video, here's another one that YouTube.
I mean, I like to think it's Alicorn magic, even though I believe she has also acknowledged the fourth wall with Pinkie Pie on multiple occasions. But they and Discord are the only three that's ever done that. So I'm saying it's canon. All three of them can see beyond the fourth wall, but only Pinkie Pie. Well, actually, she did use her magic to do that.
And thank you to my channel members, especially
never mind.
keep this YouTube channel
Let's
running.
not think about it.